Hey guys, I am so excited about the DIY I have for you today. I have watched a ton of videos on how to make a sock gnome, but I came across Crafty Sher Cupcake's video and it was so stinking cute how she decorated her little gnomes, and I had to try it for myself. So I'm going to link her video in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. And without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to start with this sock from Dollar Tree, and we're going to take a container, any container you can find. I'm using a glass, and we're going to fill it up with about half a cup of rice, and this rice I got from Dollar Tree as well. Once you get your glass or container filled with the rice, you're going to take the opening of your sock, wrap it around the glass, and flip the glass over to put the rice inside of the sock. I like to use rice for my gnomes, but you can use any type of grain as long as it's not small enough to come through the fibers of the sock. I've seen people use beans, I've seen people use stones, gems, anything that will give a little weight to the bottom of the sock because you want your gnome to be able to stand up. So our next step is to fill our sock with polyfill. I have a 5-pound box of it, but you can also use an old pillow, or you can buy a pillow from Walmart. They're not that expensive. You can also get polyfill from Walmart if you want to use that. I've also seen people use the filling from old comforters. So you can really get creative about how you fill your sock. And you just fill it up to how tall you want your gnome to be. So there's no right or wrong with this. You just stuff it to your heart's desire. Using one of these clear rubber bands that you can get from Dollar Tree, you want to secure the top of your sock so that your filling doesn't come out. Using this Valentine's Day twine that I got from Dollar Tree, I'm going to tie it a few times around the top of the sock. This is a very important step because the rubber bands tend to disintegrate over time, and if that happens, we don't have to worry about the gnome falling apart. Dollar Tree sells these ping pong balls, and that's what we're going to use for the nose. I used brown acrylic paint from DT to paint the ball, and I'm using an old pair of pantyhose to cover it. I haven't purchased pantyhose in quite some time, but I used to get them from Walmart for just a few dollars a pack. Dollar Tree does carry them, but unfortunately not in brown. Use a rubber band to secure everything, cut off the excess, and you're ready for the next step. Here, I'm cutting the top off of the sock, very close to where I tied it, and then I'm going to cut it straight across just to even it out a bit. Then from there, I'll cut it right up the middle, and it's going to make two pieces. These will be the arms for our gnome. Loosely roll the sock and then put a line of hot glue to secure it. Do this for both sides, and these will be our arms. Compare the two to make sure they're the same size, and you're ready for the next step. Dollar Tree carries felt in all different colors, but I'm using some I already had on hand. I think I purchased it from Michael's a while back for around 48 cents per sheet, so it wasn't too expensive. I took the felt and cut it into squares large enough to wrap around the end of the little sock, and then I secured it with a rubber band. These are going to be the mittens for our gnome. I trimmed the excess felt and left just enough so that the mitten looks like it has a cuff. How stinking cute is that? I got these fuzzy socks from Five Below. They came in a pack of 5 for $5. I like them because they're neutral colors, but they're a little bit smaller than the ones you can get from DT. But I wasn't too crazy over their color selection, so that's why I went with these. Okay, so now it's time to start assembling the gnome. I'm going to take my cozy sock and put it over top of the gnome body. And then I'm going to grab my nose and I'm going to figure out a spot where I want to place it. Once I'm satisfied with where everything is sitting, I'll take some hot glue and tack it all down. So to give my gnome a kind of whimsical look, I'm going to use some of this beige lace that I already had on hand. And I'm just going to measure it from side to side and cut off a length. And then I'm going to attach it to the edge of the hat using some hot glue. To give things a more polished look, I'm going to use this strand of pearls that I already had on hand, and I'm just going to hot glue it to the edge of the lace. Now it's time to make the pigtails. Using this mop head that I got from Dollar Tree, I'm going to take 3 strands out of it, fold them in half, and cut them. Then I'm going to fold them in half again and cut them again. This should give me 12 strands. I'm then going to take 6 strands and tie a rubber band around the top, and that should give me 2 pigtails. This step is optional, but I decided to unravel the strands to give it a more crimped look, which comes out a lot cuter, and you'll see in the end. I took one of the pigtails and I slid it up underneath of the hat right next to the nose. It's very important that the pigtail is right up against the nose. And then once I was satisfied with the position, I lifted it up and I secured it with some hot glue. Once I had both pigtails secured, I used the same twine from before to make hair ties, and I made sure that I wrapped it around enough times so that the color will be visible. decided the arms were a little bit long, so I cut them down some. And then I basically used the same method to secure them as I did with the pigtails. So I took the arms and I put them underneath of the hat right next to the pigtails. And then once I was satisfied with the position, I secured it with hot glue. One thing I forgot to mention, when you're gluing the arms down, just make sure that the seam is against the body. That way it's hidden and not showing in your work. Now here comes the fun part, dressing her up. I got this table scatter and these felt stickers from the Dollar Tree, and you could really just go wild with this. There is no right or wrong. Whatever your heart desires, whatever your imagination comes up with, just go with it. This was a really fun find at the Dollar Tree. This pearl garland just added to that whimsical look I was going for with the lace and the beads around the hat. Once I wrapped it around the whole hat, it just added such a pretty, dainty effect that I just love. So here's a Pom Pom Making Hack. Buy them. No, but this is a great alternative if you don't want to make them yourself. And I got this pom pom garland from Walmart. I think it was just a few dollars. And I'm taking the red one off of the garland and attaching it to the end of the hat. That adds a nice little festive touch. Using this beaded heart necklace that I got from Dollar Tree, I'm just going to cut a couple of the hearts off of there and add them to the middle of the hair ties on the pigtails. I'm telling you guys, you could really go wild with this stuff. I had so much fun adding all these extra little adornments onto this gnome. Here I'm using a different color twine from that same pack from earlier to tie around the mittens just to give them an extra little accent. So now it's time to give our gnome some feet. I used these chalkboard tags that I found at Dollar Tree and this poster board that I also got from Dollar Tree. I traced out the shape and used some scissors to cut it out. And then once I did that, I hot glued it to the bottom of the gnome. I added a few extra hearts off camera, but this is our final reveal. I am gagging at how well it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.